Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we're going to use the Tarot of the Gemstones and Crystals by Helmut G. Hofmann today. I think I said in I mentioned in my, in the reading that came through for us yesterday that I was going to an art gallery later in the day, and it was very cool. Went to the Phillips collection here in Washington D.C. And there was a really cool painting by Kandinsky that my friend and I got to see. That had Kandinsky is he's a Russian artist who. His artwork comes from being able to see color when listening to music. That's cool, right? And so his artwork is inspired by the colors that he sees when he hears music. And one of the things my friend and I talked about yesterday that was coming through was just about how, remembering that Van Gogh only sold one painting in his entire life, yet he's Van Gogh. What are the things that we do in the course of our life that we know is the right thing? We go and we do it despite what everybody else is saying, or whether we're having any type of material gain. What are the things that we do that just show how much we want to be here and how much we want to express ourselves? But it's more than just ourselves. It's not, there's a difference, right? There's an intentionality that comes through the things that we do that is unselfish, that is taking care of ourselves, but we're taking care of ourselves because we're doing what we love. So there's this vibrancy that comes through when we're in that kind of when what we're doing, we're imbuing. I think I came up in yesterday's reading. I don't know. I'm starting. We remember what comes through. Because when I do set intention before these readings, because these are readings for the collective. If you want your own private reading, again, that would be for you. It would not be for me. I mean, there's always something that we learn from one another, any interaction, right? We're going to learn from one another. I learned a lot from my friend yesterday. He learned a lot from me. We learned a lot from everything that we were seeing. It's wonderful. Wonderful. There's this intentionality that we bring and the love that we bring to everything that we do. It's living, and so that Six of Wands, what I didn't speak to specifically, I started to speak to it. That person under the purple tunic, purple is royalty, he was naked. And I brought up that we're all, naked under the clothes. That's the vulnerability. There's a vulnerability. We have to be willing to be in that vulnerable space in order to express ourselves in this way that does put us up on a pinnacle, that does put us up on the proverbial mountain that was the Christ consciousness saying, we're not here to hide lights under baskets. We're here to be brilliant for one another, to lift one another up. We're here to do and be our most in a way that's not, right? When it's genuine, right? And when there's love behind it, when it's coming from that deep well of love, when it's recognizing the divinity of what you're doing, the divinity and the respect of everything around you, there's gratitude. When there's Holy Spirit. All right. Well, we've got some cards coming out already. Oh, the reason I brought up the Kandinsky painting was because it really looked like crystals in it. It was just so cool, like the vibrancy of crystals. So we have, we have two things here. We've got the rose quartz here in the Temperance card. And then we have the 10 of Swords which is the Smoky Quartz. So these, I'll try to post the support that these crystals give us for this type of energy. So in this Ten of Swords kind of energy, Ten of Swords is usually, an ending of something and even the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands came up at the end, towards the end of the reading, and then we had those bottom of the deck cards. Ten of Swords would be, we are completely, you're at the point where there's two things happening, either in a situation that you're dealing with, work, projects, whatever, ideologically. Again, now it's, instead of the Five of Swords, now we've doubled it to the 10, and an ending has occurred. Like there's been some real deep wounds that have been created, and there's a schism. But the Temperance card is coming up with this. So again, this is divine timing. So there is some kind of break coming, but it will happen on divine timing, and there's no need to cut something immediately, but know that the cut is there, and it is what it is. It may be wounds that you can't really revive from. However, with the Temperance card coming up, this is alchemy. This is the blending of our passions. Card of Sagittarius, it's aiming towards something else. So it's almost like you want to take one of those swords out of your back, and because in the traditional tarot, a Ten of Swords has a figure with a 10, like they're stabbed, they're on the ground, blood has been shed. It's a bad scene. Somebody has been irrevocably hurt. So, but with rose quartz here, we have the opportunity in these situations to say, listen, this has happened. How can we repair this? How can we move on, even from a Ten of Swords situation, and strategize how to move to the next step, whatever that might be, and doing it in a manner that isn't continuing a Ten of Swords kind of energy. Remember, swords are attitudes, thoughts, the way our a communication. It's communication as well. It's art, and then with a Ten of Swords, it's a day-to-day logic kind of thing, like the strategizing, and it may also be that, we're at a point in our own thought processes where we're like, these thoughts are killing me. The way I approach things, the way I do things, the way I think about things is not serving me at all. It's actually killing me. So how do I change this? And how do I temper myself to become more malleable, to make those swords a little more malleable, so maybe I can remove them and now start to do something different? This is that point where, we're at a point of change where the point of change is that, it's either I need to start looking at things more, like this situation is over. I need to look at this more positively and start strategizing to make the moves in a fashion that is of benefit to all, and as balancing. Temperance is about balancing, again, making things more malleable, changeable, and and doing things with spirit, with divine guidance, so that way I can start making my moves. So we're amicable. This is an amicable situation for everybody, and we're not going to hurt one another anymore. And rose quartz is a very healing crystal, so the rose quartz is here for that, to help us to do this in a fashion that's not hack and slash anymore, and people are not getting hurt. And when it's time to, sometimes the point when we finally do decide to change, be it our thought processes or the way we're going to do things in general, the way we're thinking about things, where that things have become so painful that we don't have a choice but to change. And that might be the energy that you're dealing with, or something that you're seeing in somebody around you. Remember, you can't take this stuff and be like, oh my God, I feel, I feel a lot of things that sometimes, we have to be discerning. Is this actually happening to me? Can I temper this a little bit? And if it is happening to me, am I capable of kind of taking that step back, so that way I'm not continuing to stab and injure myself in the doing of what needs to be done? And that's the loving way. Rose quartz is such a, I meditate with this one pretty much every day. Rose quartz is a healing, it's the bringing in of love to temper a situation, to be, of being respectful of the divinity, even when things have to end. So it's a divine ending. It's time to move on to something else. And how do I create something else out of this? How do I write? Sagittarius is the storyteller. How can I create the ending that I would like here, rather than the old ending that, I need to rewrite the story. I need to do it differently. I need a different approach, a different way of looking at things. And Rutile Quartz. Oh, Ace of Cups. Lovely. So with that coming up at the end, to cap these guys off, Ace of Cups is being willing to be empty and knowing that the divine is going to fill you up. Now, in the traditional tarot, a Temperance card is a character like kind of filling two different chalices, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, knowing that even from this empty place, empty feeling, we might be thinking that we're empty, but we're not. We're going to be filled right up. That's when we're bringing in that, and it usually in like the Rider-Waite Tarot and things like that, it's something coming in from the divine, like Holy Spirit. When we're filling ourselves up and we actually look, say, hey, listen, this is a bad scene. I need help. I need help from whatever is bigger than me, and trusting, being willing to be open, even if it kind of makes you feel really shaky and uncertain. Oh gosh, it's such a scary place, right? No. But being willing to be open because something is going to feel, and it might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next week, but being willing to say, you know what, again, the way I've been doing things is keeping me from being full, feeling full, knowing that all I need to do is look up and ask for a little bit of help, and I will be filled. I will be filled by the beauty that's already around me. Being, like, again, open enough to seeing that even if right now I feel a little empty, there's a lot of fullness going on, and instantly we can come away from this. We can turn it actually upside down. This is one of the cards that in reverse, you kind of want that. But you know what? In that emptiness, trusting, being open to a new beginning, a new emotional foundation, a new opening to compassion, to more feeling than you felt before, to offering more, and then offering from that full place, offering more love to whatever it is that you're doing. Being willing to, we've had these lot of beginnings, being willing to be in a beginning and open and empty, I don't know, but maybe you do place. There was a Rumi card that came out earlier from this little deck, Rumi Jewels of Wisdom, Healing, and Guidance. I don't know. It's a blue Gaia. When you are desperate for life, you give life. When you are not in pain, you become the cure. You will no longer look for solutions. You become the solution. I'm going to leave it at that. Like, share, subscribe. This will post on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. If you want your own, this is a message for the collective. If you want your own reading, direct message me on any of those platforms. Again, like, sharing and subscribing gets it out to who gets the messages to who needs to hear it. Share it directly with somebody who you think might benefit from this. I think that's about it. I love you. Have a great day.